Hey, howdy, everybody, and welcome back to the streaming sofa. Good evening, happy Sunday, end of the weekend, and very sadly, the end of my vacation. 2.5 weeks of not having to do a goddamn thing comes to a screeching halt tomorrow, in which I return to the workforce and have to be reminded of just all the things I don't like doing. It has been a great vacation. It really has. Even if I spent like the first like week of it, like coming off of like a month-long flu, even though I'm still like living with a cough that like comes and goes throughout the day, and sometimes wrecks my voice, and then other times it's like nothing bad happened. Even though I have been unintentionally staying up until like 4 a.m. every night and have been unable to reset my sleep cycles, so tomorrow is going to be a goddamn drag. I have had a very nice break. It's been so chill. It has been, I talked about this a little bit last stream. Like, it's been so nice to truly just like vibe with not doing shit. I feel like this has been like a period of inactivity that I have needed for like 3 years. I am historically I always have like 3 different things going on at any given time. And somehow I have managed to get out from under that for this very brief amount of time, in a way that has been like very like nice and like kind of like resetting a little bit, which isn't to say that like I'm fully prepared to just like, all right, hit the go button and let's fucking rock and roll, because I think I'm getting too old. I think I'm getting to that age where it's just kind of like, I just kind of, let's just do like one thing at a time and that'll be enough. I don't want to, as someone who has always felt like old before his time, like even as a kid, there is a part of me that's just kind of like, I don't know. I'm not attracted to the grind. I kind of never have been, like there was certainly a period in my 20s that I think everybody goes through where you kind of like find like the 3 things you're into doing and you just go at them really fucking hard. Like that was me in improv, basically. When I discovered improv, in my defense, improv was like such a holy shit moment of realization for myself, that there was no way that I wasn't going to go full bore into it. However, it was definitely a period of like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer, where I was doing shows like at least weekly, sometimes 2 or maybe even 3 times a week. I was either performing in a show or going to a show. It was nuts. I honestly don't know how I was able to sustain that for as long as I did. I guess it's just the energy you have of being in your 20s, I suppose, is just, you can just like push through what should normally kill another person. you just kind of like naturally flow on just this constant diet of late nights and heavy energy exertion and garbage food, and you just kind of go. There was also certainly a degree of this won't be surprising, but I did not have what I would describe as like a very like zany and exciting life. Like I don't have stories of escapades or whatever that like other people do. And I think that there was some part of me that was maybe like making up for that a little bit, by finally having a social life, you know, by finally being able to like go out and do stuff with like people that I liked and people who liked me. And it was just kind of like, oh shit, I think this is what being alive feels like. And then of course, you know, that then leads to just kind of like, you know, these other relationships that I've had with these other people in some form or another, whether it was through just like common time spent in a shared location or just through, you know, DNA obligation. Why does it seem like some of these relationships are starting to like not be as strong and kind of fall apart in some places, and you just, it takes a while before you realize, just like, oh, because you're finding like your real people. You're finding like your real, like your found family. It's just kind of like all the trials and tribulations and adventures of trying to navigate that. A thing which I think we never kind of stop navigating. I can say at least I haven't. You know, it is this balance of, you know, trying to make work what you can. But what's nice is that as you, the older you get, the more you realize just how much it's not worth your energy trying to pursue the things that like aren't working, and especially the things that like, you know, either feel like one-sided or not very fulfilling, or it's just like, man, I am always on edge when I'm around this person. What if I just didn't go to the things that they went to? And you discover that life ends up being a lot more simple. It's a lot simpler than we tend to make it. And then you get to a point where it's just like you have a couple weeks off of work and you decide to spend that time doing nothing, just enjoying being lazy. And that has been my last few weeks here in a way that is really going to bite me come the end of this week when I have to get like used to working again. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. I already know it. So that's why we're taking advantage of tonight. We're gonna you know, try to squeeze in one more stream here before this energy goes away. You know, eventually it's gonna turn into just kind of like starting around like 7 p.m. you know, back to our normal start times. No more of this like 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon, you know, going nutso at random times of day anymore. And it's going to come with like whatever baggage I'm carrying home from whatever pissed me off that day. All right, guys, welcome. It's time for another stream. Today we're going to play another fucking game from the Nintendo Entertainment System that I could never beat as a kid and made me really, really angry. And I'm only going to have like 2.5 hours to try to beat it, and I haven't practiced, and it's just going to just look forward to me swearing a lot. There's going to be a lot of those. So while I'm still in a good mood, while I am still peppy and excited about life, we're going to do another demo disc dive. Yes, we are returning back to the well of gaming's past and all the lost media therein. I was experimenting a little bit earlier today and very excitedly discovered a thing that we're probably not going to get to tonight, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know if we're going to jump back and forth or if we're going to try to like maintain some sort of chronology here, because we did do like a lot of PS1 demo discs in a row, and then we did a couple of PS2 discs, and I don't want to, we're not abandoning the PS2 at all, but we now have the opportunity to not only check out original Xbox demo discs, which I have acquired, but also Xbox 360 demo discs. The official Xbox magazine, much like the official PlayStation, or like PlayStation Underground, which then became official PlayStation magazine later, can span multi generations. You know, it spanned both the original Xbox and the Xbox 360 under the same publication, and much like PlayStation Underground, also has all sorts of video goodies of either makings of or industry behind the scenes, or event footage, all of that good, juicy gaming content that is equal parts fascinating and horrifying to look back on. And given the nature of like Xbox and the Xbox 360, there's kind of a lot more of it now, especially on the 360 discs. That's why I'm not sure what we're really going to do tonight, because the original Xbox discs, at least for the first couple of early issues, seems like there might be like some slim pickings as far as what's on there. The 360 discs, however, look very full featured. So we're going to have some fun with that tonight. So in making sure, you know, that we do represent the Xbox as best we can, the original Xbox, as intended, we are going to start with issue 1 of the official Xbox magazine, which apparently only released in Europe and Australia. Like, it wasn't until disc 2 in which I was able to find, I guess I can verify this right now if I just look very quickly. Let me go to my very real and physical repository that I use in order to get my copies of demo discs. Yeah, there's from what I can tell, maybe it must have released also in the US, but maybe it's just nobody has provided a copy of that. That's entirely possible. It could also just be called something else. It could just be called the Best of Xbox Games Demos Volume 1. But that seems like a weird thing that they would call it. It doesn't matter. We are starting with what is known as issue 1 here. Whether or not it was released in the US doesn't really matter. It is the first look of everything that your brand new Xbox has to offer you. So let's not waste any more time getting into it. We will say goodbye to the tunes. And hello to the official Xbox magazine, issue 1. Don't mind this. This is what an Xbox looks like when it's starting up, obviously. Okay. Yeah, so this is like the UK release of it. Again, I don't know what the story is here with why there wasn't a US release of this, or if there was, I just couldn't find it. But I warn you now, you're already seeing it. As it stands, Xbox, original Xbox emulation, to pull back the curtain here, original Xbox and Xbox 360 emulation remains a little bit spotty. It is not perfect. There is still a lot of work to be done. And obviously, no one is going out of their way to try to build up support for the demo discs of all things. So our mileage may vary on what works and what doesn't. I will tell you now, even more so than the PS1 and PS2 discs, the demos probably will not work. I already tried on the 360 discs. They just straight up don't launch at all. I'm not surprised by that. They probably ran in a very different kind of way anyway. They're just very different architectures. So not that we ever really played the demos of any of these games before. I am interested in seeing if there are games on here that maybe like didn't release. That's always fun to find out, but I do know that the videos work. As long as the videos work, we're golden, because that's the real meat of what we're here for. But in terms of what was available on this disc, not a whole hell of a lot. You had NHL Hits, Mad Dash Racing, Fuzion Frenzy, and Project Gotham Racing. There's basically one decent game on this list. I guess if you're into NHL Hits, I mean, it is the Blitz equivalent of hockey games. So hooray for that, I guess. Like, at least you're getting like the more like arcadey game out of that. Mad Dash Racing, I don't know a goddamn thing about. and Fuzion Frenzy sucks. It is it was famously or infamously even known as Bill Gates' favorite game was Fuzion Frenzy. And that guy's on the Epstein files, so you know you can't. We know we can't trust his opinion on anything. Now, movies, on the other hand, we got a lot going on here. We got like a ton of trailers for a bunch of games here, and then we're gonna start with the features because we're gonna find out about the Xbox difference. We're going to find out. Okay, I have bought an Xbox. You don't technically need to sell me on it anymore, but what is the thing that makes the Xbox the Xbox? So let's find out what that is.
I am Seamus Blackley, and I'm
also
the guy who has to figure out how to convince everybody to buy an Xbox.
Check out this video compression.
Xbox games suck. Well, I was actually the guy who wrote the first Xbox memo, so I've been on the Xbox team longer than anyone else. I was working in the DirectX group. We were trying to think of ways to make gaming on Windows better, and the ultimate example of ease of gaming is a game console. It came together kind of like an illegal poker game. A bunch of guys who just like to hang out together realized that it was a really good idea.
Also, that's not your internet connection. The audio is out of sync with the video. I don't know if that's a result of the emulation or if this is just how it released on the
Not
disc.
as a hardware company, not as kind of a toy company, is exciting because it means that the rules can really change for the way that the game industry works. And so I think when we thought about Xbox at the very beginning, we really thought that we could create an agent of change, that we could create a vehicle that would usher in this new age of video gaming that everybody likes to pontificate about, but in a very real way. The toughest thing about Xbox was not hardware,
I love
technology.
the table shot.
The toughest thing about Xbox was getting Microsoft
This
to understand
weird
that
like
gaming business is an entertainment business.
scenes from the War Room
It's
ass
not a software business. My favorite quote is,
angle.
never confuse game development with software development. There's software involved, right? But that's not actually what you're doing. When you think of Xbox, think of it fundamentally as as an asymmetric multiprocessor environment. Think of it as kind of a band. It's like a rock band. You got your drummer and your lead guitar player and your rhythm guitar player and a bass player and a singer. All of these processors in Xbox are totally independent. And that's very special and new in game console architecture. So the graphics processor in Xbox is really good at lighting. It's very good at surface definition. It's very good at things which are not traditional console graphics processor techniques. Is that bad? No, it's great, actually.
Here are the things it's not good at.
Example that I like
Having a controller small enough for human hands.
How many polygons they think the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park had, like the T-Rex model, say. The main close-up T-Rex model in Jurassic Park. The answer is 80,000, which is remarkably low. Well, why is that? Well, it's because to draw something which looks great, you don't add polygons. You add surface detail. You give artists control of what a scale looks like on a dinosaur, of how it glistens. And that's pixel shading. That's vertex shading. And that's what Xbox does. And that's totally unavailable on any other system. So when you see Shrek, you see Halo, you see how great they look, it's because the technology that we put in really enabled the control of the look of a scene to be given to the artists.
Shrek and Halo, of course, are the two games that I always pull up as examples of some of the best graphics that the Xbox had to offer.
Sound is a great example of the general philosophy of everything we thought about on Xbox. Sound is the terrible, like, disfigured stepchild of the game industry. Sound always gets added last. It always gets no budget. It gets no memory. It gets no CPU. The lead programmer always hates the sound programmer. You know, it's this kind of joke in the game industry that you just slap the sound on.
In 30-ish years, the sound isn't going to work very well when this thing gets emulated.
And so we decided just to end that debate just outright by putting a really big, fat, powerful, crazy processor in there just for audio. So aside from the fact that there does need to be
if this is a UK, I wonder if part of like the audio nonsense that we're hearing is because this is a UK disc and this
no effect on the game for doing beautiful musical scores.
This still could have had like PAL
audio, 3D audio, and Dolby
interpretation on it.
And all these kinds of things are all handled by this audio processor, totally autonomously.
We'll find out when we get to disc 2.
An artist can sit down in front of an Xbox and directly export a beautiful human figure out of 3D Studio Max or Softimage.
Beautiful
right into the Xbox,
human
and it draws
figure.
just as it looks.
You know, like
So
Abe,
the artist is really now
the
completely in
Madokan,
charge of the process.
a beautiful
By putting that power
human.
in the hands of the artists, you create an entirely different kind of game. You create an entirely different kind of game process. You change the game industry, and you put games on a footing that's more level with other traditional media. Most people don't realize that game developers are artists. Most people don't realize that they come from film and television, from rock bands, all these different places, because they love this place where technology and art blend. And the reason that Xbox has such support among people who make games
The
is because
lighting
it's
in this video
absolutely,
is
without
fucking
question,
insane.
the finest platform to build games for that's ever existed. And the reason is it was designed by people
Like this footage
who've
is
been
straight
in
up
games,
blown
who knew
out,
exactly
which
what
makes
to do.
him look crazy. And also, we're in a post-Matrix world, so everything is going to be green haze for at least the next 5 years.
You know, I really feel like I'm playing the movie. It's not just, oh, I recognize that character. He looks a little political.
Yeah,
That's
that looks exactly like the movie.
Shrek is.
This game really makes you feel like Shrek.
It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. Tony Hawk is actually a tremendous example of the Xbox difference in that it's a game that everybody knows and loves, and yet it's really taken the next level on Xbox. You can see this grass is really grass. It's not some stupid looking texture. It's grass. So
The grass is really grass. The snozzberries taste like snozzberries.
That really is the fundamental dream of Xbox. But we're really focusing hardcore on building an online experience for Xbox around games, around stuff that you can only do in games that are connected, right? It's really interesting. You can talk about community, and you can talk about massively multiplayer games. You can imagine episodic games, which you get a new level every week. You can talk about downloadable stuff. You have to open your mind to every new idea you possibly can imagine. But at the same time, that imagination has to be tempered with what you know is true. And it's the same kind of imagination that has to go into online. And it's something which really only Microsoft has at this time. We want to really change the experiences you have when you play a game, but at the same time, there's nowhere else on earth where people have as much experience with the reality of broadband adoption, billing, infrastructure issues, like how to frame relays work, all of these different like terrifying minutiae that could kill these beautiful ideas dead are understood here. And so the reason I'm incredibly excited about online for Xbox is partially because of the promise of online, but people have been talking about that for a long time. My excitement stems from the fact that online is going to be real on Xbox. It really is going to happen. And that's incredible.
And they made good on that. I mean, they made good on it better on the 360, but they definitely made good on the promise of there will be online gaming on original Xbox. Like it definitely like was the place to go for it. You know, like outside of PC gaming, of course. The PS2 only had, to this day, I don't know any games on PS2 that had online gameplay other than SOCOM. And I think the only reason I know about that is because like that game came with the modem. like I don't know off the top of my head any other PS2 games that had online multiplayer on them. But the Xbox definitely was doing it, you know, like original Halo like was rock and rolling with online, and in an era where that was like very new. You know, I can't speak to it because I did not experience it. I guess it's worth saying, like, I never had an original Xbox. I didn't get an OG Xbox until many years later. As a matter of fact, I didn't get an original Xbox until after, you know, we had like exhausted like our Xbox 360. You know, I picked up an OG Xbox probably within, I don't know, that probably would have been like early 2010s ish, maybe around like 2012, 2013 or so. Like by the point where like I was already like in like the working world and everything, you know, like it was very much a kind of like, oh, it'd be cool to have one of these. Because honestly, a lot of my original Xbox experience was through the 360's backwards compatibility, which, despite not being perfect and lacking in a lot of places, there were absolutely like a handful of games that I played damn near to completion through the 360. I honestly don't know. I'd have to look I don't even know how I could like check this information. I don't remember if I ever actually finished an original Xbox game. I can guarantee you that like probably damn near every game that I had for original Xbox that I played on the 360 is now like currently on the backlog. like that is almost exactly what happened. I'm gonna check real quick here. You're seeing the behind the scenes moment here. Like, is there like a PAL version of doing things, or it literally just might be just how this thing works. Enable improved audio accuracy. Let's turn this on, and that sounded significantly worse. That was all right. It does not seem like we have options for improving the audio experience, so I do apologize that it's a little poppy, but hopefully on the future discs it'll be okay. All right, let's find out about designing that. Oh, before we click this out the video, the other thing that I wanted to mention, I still love that we are still in the era of you know, pre-YouTube, pre-media training on a lot of stuff, right? Or now we're in the era of media training as it meant in like the early 2000s, where people are speaking like very plainly and very cleanly, with a lot of detail, but we're still not doing the kind of like personality style coverage. You know, like that dude at that table was very real. And started like very nearly started getting into like some nitty gritty stuff that like the average player like isn't gonna care about. So I'm excited for like these next few discs, because we're still gonna be in an era where these dudes just kind of like nerd out about the very technical work that they are doing, rather than like screaming directly in our faces about how cool and everything looks, you know. Like we are still dealing with dudes in like button-ups and polos. All these corporate faces who absolutely do not know how to make things sound interesting to the layman.
Well, pretty much when we first started, it's, you know, there were two projects really. One was to create a show car, a piece that communicated the core essence of the box and what the box was going to promise to the market. At the same time, parallel to that path, we were also exploring the final design of the box. And of course, with that comes a lot of engineering, a lot of requirements. I looked at a lot of very industrial type architecture, such as nuclear power.
You know what? Before this guy gets too far into it, give me 1 sec here. I want to see. Changing some settings here.
Well, pretty much when we first started, it's, you know, there were two.
Nah, that did not do much. Let me try one more thing. I mean, we might just have to just live with how this goes. Yeah, still a lot of audio popping. Unless I restart this. And maybe some of the settings will like needed to take a refresh in order to take hold. Nope, doesn't sound like it. Still hearing the weirdness. All right, it is what it is.
Well, pretty much when we first started, it's, you know, there were two projects really. One was to create a show car, a piece that communicated the core essence of the box and what the box was going to promise to the market. At the same time, parallel to that path, we were also exploring the final design of the box. And of course, with that comes a lot of engineering, a lot of requirements. I looked at a lot of very industrial type architecture, such as nuclear power plants, machines that actually do atom crashing. A lot of those designs came into
When designing the latest video game console, we looked at nuclear technology.
The original spirit of the Xbox.
We heard about Chernobyl and we said, but what if ours like held together?
When we start working on the design of the box, we really start with the basic concept of no idea is a bad idea. We went to the copy room, got bundles of 500 sheets of paper, probably 4 or 5 bundles of it. So imagine thousands of sheets of paper, black pen, and Microsoft proprietary stamp, and lots of food, lots of drinks. We took a lot of magazines. We bought over $1,000 worth of magazines. Cut out what we believe to be a trend, the trend of a snapshot of that day, and then place it against a matrix that eventually would be measurements for every design that we do for Xbox. In this case, it was a matrix between intelligent and whimsical, and on the other axis is engineered versus sensual. We basically took what we learned from over 2,000 gamers. It really helped us focus really quickly.
What's that?
The final design that we need to
I don't understand what you're trying to accomplish with that chart.
In your home, it lives in the center of your living room.
Technical versus sensual?
We had a usability
What?
Expert that took us into many gamers' homes around the world. You go into somebody's home, instantly look at it and jot down notes as to where does this sit? Where does the game console sit?
What do you learn from doing that graph? It's just kind of like, oh man. We found out that some people are like sexually like turned on by the amount of transistors you might have on a motherboard.
The traditional game console cord length. It actually is about 9 feet, 10 feet or so. So from that, we derive 3 meters, which is about 9 and a little more than 9 feet of cable for our controller, which really would increase the user experience.
Not enough. Not enough. Not enough for future generations, that's for sure.
Foam was something that we absolutely wanted.
They never could have imagined how big TVs would get and how far away you would start sitting away from them.
And how do you communicate that through form on the outside? It's a balance that I had to play.
And at the same time, we're really taking a no-holds-barred approach to building the console. We wanted to make no compromises at any step of the design. So when it came time to make a decision, do we spend the extra money and do we include the extra height and weight of a hard drive, we said, what's the right thing for gamers? And the gaming experience is going to be better with a hard drive in every box, so we made that decision to include it. And then we look back to the design group to make sure that that's all being pulled together in the most elegant package that's the simplest for users to get access to all of that power.
I don't remember if there was like external memory for the original Xbox. There definitely was for the 360. You fucking needed it. You needed the hard drive for the 360, which of course they sold you after the fact.
In the lab, in which we gave it to them, they touch it, they go, oh, this is not high enough, or this is getting in the way. So
look at these controller designs.
Shave it off with a piece of sandpaper, come back and say, what do you think about this now? And then they're saying, yeah, that's feeling better, but now this is cutting my hand. So you bring it back again. So there's a lot of back and forth process, which is almost like a bar of soap, right? In lots of ways. It's the more you shape it, the more comfortable it gets.
We took a lot of
but the thing about a bar of soap is that it gets smaller the more you use it, and the Duke was basically the size of a dinner plate.
Do you need to be able to work with those games? So they're going to be building games with much more advanced character movement and control. So they needed things like 6 buttons.
Look at that fucking thing.
Controller. A lot of games wanted to be able to count on advanced vibration.
It's a beast.
So we went ahead
It's
and
an
made sure that
absolute
every single Xbox
beast.
controller had advanced vibration capabilities, just because it gives a more real, more immersive gaming experience to every single.
Wrapping your hand around a watermelon. Oh, the color green indeed. Here we go.
Because I always carry a marker with me, and I happened to have a green marker in my pocket on the day that I was sketching, and I didn't have any other colors. Even my boss came in and said, Horace, you gotta see more than just green. You can't just sketch everything in green. Next thing you know, we took it to game developers, showed them controllers, showed them box, and these sketches that I had, and next thing you know, Xbox became green.
That cannot be the story.
When a group of us got
Literally
together,
just my favorite color is green and I had a green marker.
We had the ideas of this being an ecosystem in a lot of ways.
If that's the only thing that went to making that decision, that's incredible.
And also having a sense of this kind of, we always talked about Xbox having a certain kind of secret sauce. What would it be if you dive into the secret sauce and seeing the different parts of it and different molecules of it? That's a lot of it that came out of that. I think the design actually resonate that quite a bit.
It's dripping with the secret sauce, there's no doubt about it. You're really seeing a reflection of
Gross.
what we think is possible with the box in pretty much every aspect of the Dash's design, right? We know that we wanted to make it 3D, we wanted to have a look of complexity but an ease of navigation to it. We knew that we wanted to have a series of animations in it, all of which are very smooth and fluid and guide you through the experience. There was a lot we could do that was beyond what people think of as traditional. Game soundtracks, custom soundtracks are probably one of the best examples of that. It gives us a great opportunity to allow gamers to put an audio CD into the drive,
pick the tracks that they want as part of their custom soundtrack, actually rip that soundtrack to the hard drive, and when they play games, if the game supports custom soundtracks, in the game they'll just say which of their custom soundtracks they want to use, and that music will be playing in the background of the game, which is pretty cool. I definitely think it's about power, and the most important aspect of that power to me is when people buy an Xbox, they take it into their living room and turn the box on, and they're amazed. They can't believe what they're seeing. They didn't think it was possible. They play the game for a few hours and they start calling friends and they're gonna say, "You aren't gonna believe."
Remember when video
what I
games
just
used to be
did
simple?
on this Xbox in my living room.
Remember when you used to be able to just take it out of a box, plug it in, turn it on, and you were playing video games like immediately?
Being able to focus on something, having a story told to them. Well, except this is that times 10.
That's what it's really all about.
God, what happened to those days? What happened to those halcyon days where games just worked out of the box? It's so funny because literally like one generation later, like just a few years after this, all of a sudden it was just kind of like, actually there's day one patches and there's updates and everything has to install to a hard drive. Everything takes forever. Loading times are like now, like loading times now factor into the score a game gets when outlets are reviewing them. Like truly crazy. Like just how immediately everybody lost their way on things. I mean, these are things that only make sense like in hindsight, but this is one of the things that I enjoy about doing these demo disc dives like so much, is just like listening to these people talk about the things that are like important to them and important to the design and important to like making things the best experience for the gamers at home who are going to be, you know, using this stuff. And like these guys talking about, and I know that there's a lot of like factors like cost and time and the world economy. Like there's a lot of things that like influence these decisions, right? Like no decision is ever made in a vacuum. You know, every decision is a result of whatever the set of circumstances was leading up to that exact moment where someone pulled the trigger on, okay, this is what we're going to do. But listening to these guys talk about like, no, we understood that like when we sat down and asked ourselves, like, what is the most, is it worth making the Xbox physically heavier so that we could put a hard drive in it? We asked ourselves, well, what's going to be important to the player experience? And we knew that it was going to be having a hard drive was going to be important. So we put a hard drive in it. And then one system later, it's just kind of like, yeah, there's kind of a hard drive in it, but if you want any like real like usable space, we're going to sell you another, an external hard drive for several $100s. And you can slap it on the top of this thing. And also sometimes that hard drive is just going to fail. like sometimes it's just going to just like stop working and you might have to get a new one, or format it and lose all your save games and all your downloaded XBLA games like that. Like stuff like that is going to happen. It's so funny to me. Like watching people like not learn the right or forget the lessons that they learned in what's essentially, from our perspective, real time. You know, like again, like there are several years that separate, you know, these updates from one to the next. But when we watch them like this in like these time capsule things of kind of like jumping, you know, a couple months at a time or so, it's just kind of like, well, wait a minute, what happened to that thing when you guys said that, you know, like you really cared about making, you know, like online gaming like accessible for everybody, and then smash cut to Xbox Live Gold, and you have to pay for a subscription in order to play online, you know, and then Sony being kind of like, those other guys are going to charge you to play your games online. We can do it for free. And then like over the course of even just like the PS3's own lifespan, just kind of like, actually, we do need to start charging people to play our games online, to start playing online multiplayer. We're going to have to charge you. Like, it's just, like, it's fascinating. It is fascinating. All right, let's see if these trailers for games play better. I'm worried they're not. If they're gonna be like really like poppy and out of sync and everything, we'll just change discs and we'll move on. What I am gonna do, because I tried changing like this stuff. We'll turn the resolution back up because it doesn't seem to be making much of a difference from a performance side of things. But let's take a look at the trailer for Amped, a snowboarding game with attitude. So yeah, this is super out of sync. Also, like, be prepared to hear a lot of this kind of music. Like, we are well into, that's the whole trailer, huh? Well, are you sold? As I seem to recall, the Amped series wasn't really worth getting into until 3. Amped 3 on the 360 kicks ass. And even then, the part of the game that kicks ass is not the game. It is all of the cutscenes. We'll look at that game at some point in the future. In fact, I think I have it on the backlog, as a matter of fact. Amped 3 is fucking crazy because they went all out nuts, like sicko mode on the cutscene development, where you follow like 4 different characters throughout the course of that game's campaign, and every one of those characters has a entirely different art style. And like one of them like is all told through like scrapbooking type animation. Another one is like very like janky stop motion with like Barbies and GI Joes and shit like that. It's awesome. it's really awesome. I think another one of the art styles might be like the same weird shit that they did like for like those Quiznos rats, you know, of just like these very weird like puppet animation style with superimposed mouths and everything. It's yeah. Amped 3, truly a game that could only exist at the time when it did, and so sad that we have not gotten something that goes for the same thing that game does. I do want to check out the trailer for New Legends, because that is not the name of a game that I recognize, and it is entirely possible that this never came out.
It is a time of chaos, a time of defiance, a time for heroes.
They destroyed my family. I will fight you to my very last breath. We might certainly die, but by the gods of good fortune, at least we will die in battle.
This absolutely looks like a game that never released. Okay, so it goes from like action beat 'em up to then like third person shooter with strafe controls. It's so, as soon as they show guns, it's like they're 2 completely different games.
You have led us to victory.
I'm going to look up, did that game exist? Apparently it did. It has a Wikipedia page and everything. 2002 action video game developed by Infinite Machine, a studio founded by former employees of LucasArts. for the Xbox gaming console, not compatible with 360. Shocking. Aha, okay, this explains a little bit. It would be the only game released by the developer, as New Legends was a commercial failure, and Infinite Machine was unable to secure funds to continue development of the next game. Sam and Max plunged through space. Wow. So they were gonna use that money to fund the next Sam and Max game. Did that game ever happen? September 2001, development began on a new project. Sam and Max plunged through space. She went bankrupt. Project was abandoned. Wow. So just a whole game in a fairly popular franchise just didn't happen. New Legends received mixed reviews upon release. Currently holds a 54.89 on game rankings. Excuse me. As well as a 56 out of 100 on Metacritic. GameSpot awarded the game a 7 out of 10, which is not a bad score. Criticized the bland environments, camera issues, lack of replay value, and short length, saying its playing time clocked in at just over 5 hours. However, they praised the combat, saying the game's combat system is executed so well that it saves the game from being just another cookie-cutter beat-em-up. Well, maybe we'll check that game out at some point to see what that thing is even like. Not that it is worth really caring about what these people ever said ever, but G4 TV gave the game a negative review, calling it the most graphically inferior Xbox title yet. Also criticizing bland level design and lack of puzzles, but did say that the combat is entertaining and the controls are tight. I mean, honestly, hearing that like the game like controlled and played decently is kind of shocking given the trailer that we just watched, because I did not get that impression from that trailer at all. All right, there's the people in the credits who helped made this game. So playable demos, I mean, there's no way this launches. Let's see if the Fuzion Friendly demo works. Don't get excited. It's easy to get the logos builds. Oh man. They made 2 of these. There are 2 Fuzion Frenzy games, and they are both rough. Ooh, they are fucking rough. They're, you know, they're like these mini game battler types. Structurally, it's akin to like how Crash Bash was set up, where there isn't really like one like party mode that like binds the whole thing together. You're basically just like playing through a series of like disconnected game types. This is actually launching. All right, fuck it. Let's take a look at this piece of shit game.
Isn't it terrific?
All right, we have audio vocal bits. All right, let's join the tournament. Our wide cast of characters here. We'll play with the default. I wonder if this demo supported multiplayer. Be kind of cool by the loosest definition of the term.
Selecting route. Play starts in military base.
I'm hearing some classic stock sound effects in here. All right, collect the most tokens to win. You lose points if you get sucked into the whirlpool. Rotate, accelerate, reverse. Got it. I'm surprised that this demo works. This, I mean, awesome. It's too bad it's for this game, but...
Get ready! 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, we are green. We're gonna make our way... You know, this is the mini game. You just, you know, literally drive around in circles for a while. Picking up points as you go. It's super engaging stuff. Can we go against the current? We can, and it seems like we move at the same speed as if we had gone with the... Okay, so the water is purely a visual effect. Oh, oh, oh. Wow. I lost super hard. I did a terrible job. Yep, no points. Is it going to let us at least play the next stage? All right, good. Knockout. Knock everyone else off the ice. Avoid the freeze ray in the middle. All right, 2 games in a row where we're playing with these weird hover cars.
3, 2, 1, go!
What the fuck? Why did it? Oh my god. Okay, it controls completely differently. Oh, okay. All right, well, okay, so now we move when we just move the stick around and you press A to do like a charge move. Jesus Christ. I got one. Okay. All right. We have... Whoop! Son of a bitch. Fuck off! This... Oh, man. This does not feel very good. Oh, come on.
Jet wins!
Well, we tied for second, so there's... I guess that's something.
Choosing minigame.
We're still dead last. Carry an orb, drop it to the zone. Shoot other players to make them drop their orbs. Got it.
Get ready! 3, 2, 1, go!
Okay. All right, we got an orb. What the hell happened? I took the orb to the zone and then I like teleported across the map or something? Or maybe we got shot and I didn't see it. Oh, shit. Jesus Christ. That was fast. Not saying that I would want to play a lot more of that, but that seemed like an extremely short game. All right, grab orbs of your color or white orbs, then carry them to the goal for points. Boost your score by carrying more than one orb at once. Jump, attack, steal.
Your orbs or gamble them in Fuzion
Well, let's gamble everything. What do we got to lose? We're already in fucking last place.
Get ready! 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh man. Okay. So far, how the fuck are they scoring so many more points? Okay, I stole all their shit. There we go. So you have to wait for them to pick up their color, then hit them. There we go. Yeah. No, we gotta, oh man, we gotta keep an eye on orange over there. No, you don't. There we go. Boom jams.
Military base.
Does that mean we win the whole thing?
Final stage.
A full come from behind victory.
Selecting game.
Did they say? I think they said that this is the last game. Avoid the ice tails. Be the last to survive. Play for 3 rounds. Trap the other players with your tail. Is this like light cycles?
3, 2, 1, go!
It is like light cycles. Ooh, it's like light cycles if it was bad. Fuck off. What the hell? This feels terrible. It's like every single one of these games like controls differently with how like you're like the whatever the rules of the rotation are. So like I'm kind of like pointing like in the direction I want to go in, whereas with other games you like turn left and right. This one, oh my fucking god, I don't even know what happened there.
Oh dear, Dub, where were you?
What? Did you lose again?
Shut up.
Picking game.
How fucking long is this? Collect the most pods. You can shoot pods off of other players' tail. Aim for neutral pods. Boost and fire.
Get ready! 3, 2, 1, go!
That guy just yelled anime? I don't really understand what's going on here. We're like, oh, for God's sake. Okay, and then do I need to like hold on to this long enough to become like permanent? Is that the idea? I mean, I like that one conceptually. I think the execution left a little bit to be desired there, but we made something happen.
Choosing game.
All right, jumper, duck, the cooling rods to survive the longest. Hint, don't blink. Okay, so this is like a wipeout stage.
Get ready! 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, so it moves automatically. This is really cool how I can barely see my character. And also, like, the angle makes it impossible to, like, properly judge the distance on anything. Master. Fucking master. There we go. We're at the top of the pops here now. All right, we're back to another one of these. All right.
Turn your orbs into points.
I mean, go for broke. Who cares? We're only on this earth once.
3, 2, 1.
I'm only ever gonna play this game once. So let's make it count. Okay, I'm immediately getting my ass kicked. Okay, yeah, so dropping off multiple orbs at once, like, looks like it gives like a score multiplier. All right, we'll let them all fight each other over there. No, fuck off. Fuck off. No! God damn it. Oh, you piece of shit. All right, well, she's gonna go. Ugh. I love how player 4 is like basically invulnerable. It's so cheap. Oh, thank God we're done. Hey, we came in second. Given that we lost all but 2 of the mini games, I don't feel terrible about a second place position. Never in my life would I would have thought that the demos on these on this disc would work better than just the video playback. Want it all? Get it all. More than 45 games for 1 to 4 players. And super worth it. All right. Let's move on to our next disc here. If for no other reason than like the audio popping is going to drive me up a fucking wall. Oh no, like, you know, like we're getting, you know, I wasn't expecting like a whole lot out of that first disc, you know, like there's plenty of time for them to add more stuff here. And obviously we skipped on all those trailers because the audio wasn't going to play very well. But I am hoping that these next discs start offering a bit more. Otherwise, we might jump ship to an entirely new generation, which I know has a lot of stuff on it. So let's hop right on in to disc 2 or issue 2.
Mysterious artifact.
Okay, immediately the audio sounds better on this.
An alien ring. Lost.
But no, that's disappointing. We have no like behind the scenes whatevers. All right, we do have demos for Cell Damage, Fuzion Frenzy again, Oddworld Munch's Odyssey, 4x4 Evo 2, and Tony Hawk 2X. Which, if you're not familiar with that, Tony Hawk 2X was an original Xbox remake of, I think it combines both Tony Hawk 1 and 2.
Are mankind's most advanced.
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it does both.
Equipped to battle indoors.
The audio on this sounds a lot better too. Hey, Pickle. They pushed the hell out of Fuzion Frenzy. That was like Microsoft's answer to Mario Party, and it never worked. Like no one cared about Fuzion Frenzy at all. Like that was never gonna happen. Didn't stop them though. Didn't stop them from trying. All right, well we can at least watch the trailers for these other games here. Again, I saw like Nightcaster on here, and I don't know if that's a game that ever came out. All right, let's see if we get a better trailer for Amped. Hopefully this plays correctly. Yeah, the frame rate looks better on this. Okay, we're getting like a different cut trailer for it, even though it's, if you played the first trailer and this one side by side, I don't think that you would actually be able to tell the difference. Okay, good. I'm glad that this disc is playing, but that has me feeling. Oops, sorry. That has me feeling better about future discs as we go down the list here, because the other ones I have are the USA releases. So I think it is like a PAL conversion thing that probably the emulator just isn't capable of doing anything about. Bloodwake is a boat combat game. And it doesn't look like much nowadays, but if you look at these fucking waves, like if you look at like the water physics, like the water simulation in this, it's kind of crazy. It's pretty wild for the time. Like I don't think overall this game was like great. It's fine. It's whatever. It's a vehicular combat game, you know, so take it or leave it for all of its positives and negatives. But graphically, like what they were doing with the physics in that was extremely impressive. I think actually still looks pretty cool. All right, let's get Halo out of the way. Everybody, this is the one game that anybody ever gives a shit about.
A mysterious artifact. An alien ring. Lost for thousands of years. Marooned on its surface. Hunted by an undaunted foe. You are mankind's most advanced warrior. Equipped to battle indoors and out. Trained to pilot any vehicle.
Credit where it's due, like it is like a technically and visually impressive game.
Skilled in all weapons, human and
Especially for being, you know, so early in the Xbox's lifespan.
you are humanity's final hope.
I just never got into it.
Halo. Combat evolved.
It's not entirely true. What I did, I have actually played through all of Halo 2. And I will say, and I know that some people will probably relate to this, the ending of Halo 2 left such a bad taste in my mouth that I was kind of like, all right, fuck this. Like Halo 2 has kind of an infamous non-ending that is extremely frustrating.
An alien
and it wouldn't be for quite a while before I would try another one. And by the time, because I think it was Halo 4 was maybe the only other one that I put any amount of time in. And at that point, I was actually putting time into the multiplayer. I was never good at it. I've never been good at any multiplayer shooters, period. But that game kind of hit at kind of like just the right time where a couple of my friends were also playing it. And so it kind of gave me like an easy in to playing, because I feel like, I don't know how true this is, but all of my previous multiplayer shooter experience had been like Battlefield and Call of Duty, and those games felt very like drop in and out kind of a thing. Like you just play with a bunch of randos, it doesn't really matter. Halo always felt like the kind of game that you're supposed to play with like people that you know, to be like a proper squad. Like Halo feels like very like unforgiving if you're playing with just like random teammates, and also people are super fucking sweaty in that game, like any other multiplayer shooter. But Halo felt like especially just kind of like you better have like people that you know, otherwise you're going to get just, people are going to treat you poorly. Sank way too many hours playing multiplayer of Halo 1. We had 4 Xboxes going land at one point. See, like those are the stories I'm used to hearing about that game. You know, like Halo more than any other game feels like, or any other series feels like that is the group of friends playing together type of multiplayer shooter. You don't really hear that about like COD. You know, like I've never heard of like Call of Duty LAN parties. Not really. You know, it was more like the Halos and like your Counter Strikes and stuff like that were just kind of like, yeah, you need to play like with people you know. So fortunately, like with 4, I did have some people that I knew. Oh, Sobe Energy. Wait a minute, where do I have a way to just, how do I make the Sobe commercial full screen? That's what I want. God, I miss Sobe so much. The Sobe yellow, whatever the yellow Sobe was absolutely the best one. I fucking love that. I can taste it right now. I remember being introduced to that when I was in Scouts, when I was in Boy Scouts. Somebody like introduced that to me. I think the first time I ever had it was at a gas station, I think in Utah. I think we stopped at like a gas station, I think coming back from a trip, from a camping trip. And it became like an immediate favorite. It became a thing where I used to get it all the time. It was like up there with like Arizona green tea, of just like how often I was drinking that stuff. And then I like stopped for whatever reason. And I wouldn't find out until I think like last year is when I found out that they stopped making it. I think I kind of like offhandedly asked. It's just kind of like, I haven't seen Sobe in a while. Whatever happened to that? And it's like, oh, they stopped making it ages ago. It's like, God damn it. All right, let's check out some more trailers. I'm seeing videos that are playing in here for things that aren't video games, and I want to watch more. I want to watch those more than I want to watch these video game trailers. Both Jet Set games on the backlog. Everything about these games like appeals to the part of my brain that is convinced it would be fun to play, but that I never played them for very long. And I'm not sure why. And I think part of it has to do with just like, I just never got very good at them. There's a floatiness to the controls that I think takes a bit of getting used to. Because I think my brain was just like wired better for Tony Hawk than it was for this game. Because this game does not move as quickly as the Tony Hawk games do, which is not positive or negative, it's just different. And I could just never like fully like commit to a playthrough of them. Unfortunately, now that I stream, yeah, I feel like the Jet Set Radio games actually probably make for like really good streaming, because you can actually just kind of like get into that like focus and fugue state with it. The look of these games is always cool. This like cel shaded, like very specific style, very specific like attitude about it. Apparently they still make Sobe, but only for special events and random regional availability. Well, I would like to have a special event in my living room, and my region is right here within these 15 feet around me. So someone get Sobe on the phone. And have them deliver it right in front of my house via the PlayStation truck. That's the dream I want to live. This is a long trailer that is basically showing the two things that happen in this game, which is you can grind on rails and then people dance. Grinding on rails. There's more grinding, and then someone dances. And then you're grinding on the rails, and then someone dances. And then you grind. You scare birds. Okay, so there's three things you can do. You can scare birds. Maybe this is why I never really got into Jet Set Radio, because you don't do a whole lot. Maybe the gameplay loop was a lot thinner than I remember. 2001. It's so weird to think that Jet Set Radio is 25. I mean, all these things are 25 years old at this point.
Mysterious.
I think there was a demo for Mad Dash on the previous. Oh yeah, it's like an on-foot racing game for furries. There's a game like this on the PS1. I cannot remember the name of it. But it's like, it's another one of these where it's like, it is an on-foot racing game. These kinds of racing games never felt very good. There's like a weird like disconnect. And it's purely a visual disconnect, but it's like this weird disconnect between like a game that looks like a platform but controls like a car. Or in the case of something like Sonic R, doesn't control at all. Like Sonic R is a mistake pressed onto CD. A barely functional video game. In fact, I think calling Sonic R barely functional is actually giving it too much credit, because there are parts of it that straight up like do not work. The thing that springs to mind with that is, even if you win like first place, I think it still plays like the post-race cutscene that says that you didn't win the Chaos Emerald or whatever. Like, like it literally doesn't work. And then also you're supposed to like, because I think like by collecting the Chaos Emeralds, you're supposed to unlock like a whole like extra track or whatever, but it's just unlocked by default. You just kind of like get to it. It's basically broken in the same way that like Smash TV is, where it's just kind of like, yeah, you kind of just get everything, even if you didn't technically meet the criteria or whatever. It's a bad game. Sonic R fucking sucks. Anyway, Mad Dash looked fine. All right, this is another case of like game that I don't know if this released. Nightcaster. This looks like a PS1 game. which is kind of a big, like a slam against an Xbox game, but a win for someone like me. Oh, you can make your Nightcaster be old. What if you could play as a young or an old man? Some gauntlet style shit looking here. Hey, take some notes, Jet Set Radio. That's how long a trailer should be. It should end unceremoniously. All right, let's look up if that game ever came out. Nightcaster.
A mysterious artifact.
It did come out, and it has a sequel.
Lost for thousands of years.
Developed by VR1 Entertainment.
Marooned on its surface.
VR1 Entertainment, a Boulder, Colorado-based subsidiary of Pacific Century Cyberworks. Jesus Christ.
Hunted
Okay.
by an undaunted foe.
The first console release for the studio, which had developed online games since 1988, including the Fighter Ace series.
Equipped to battle indoors and out.
The review scores for this are kind of all over the place, including official Xbox Magazine giving it a 4.9 out of 10. Retrospective reception of Nightcaster has been mixed. What a weird... This Wikipedia article has a retrospective segment. I guess to talk about looking back on the game. Many sources commenting that the game was an example of the weak Xbox launch lineup and action-adventure catalog. Several critics restated mixed opinions about the game upon release of its sequel. Ambitious RPG posturing, but nothing more than a glorified shoot-'em-up. You know, that actually makes me curious. What was the launch library of the original Xbox? Because we are kind of like jumping into the demo disc. We did not do the thing, which maybe we should have done, where I could have found like the E3 or whatever where like they announced the original Xbox. But we'll do that on a day where it makes sense. You know, like I'm sure original Xbox is going to have... The Xbox came out in 2001. So this year is going to be its 25th anniversary. So we'll do that, right? We'll do that this year. We will have, you know, our celebration of the original Xbox in November. I think is when it released. Original Xbox release date. November 15th, 2001. Yeah. So look forward to that. Come this November, we'll do a 25-year retrospective on original Xbox. But for now, just so I have an idea here. Okay. For its US launch, we had 4x4 Evo 2, Air Force Delta Storm, not a bad game. Arctic Thunder, which is like a snow sled game. Cell Damage, Dark Summit, Dead or Alive 3, because you have to have a fighting game. Fuzion Frenzy, Halo Combat. Oh, Halo was a launch title. Okay. Mad Dash Racing, Madden 2002, NASCAR Heat and Thunder 2002, NHL Hits 2002, Oddworld Much's Odyssey. I didn't realize that Much's Odyssey was a launch title either. Project Gotham Racing. Again, you have to have a racing game. Shrek, Test Drive Off-World Wide Open, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, 2X, and Trans World Surf. Middling. I would say that's middling. When the majority of them are like sports games, that's kind of a bummer. Obviously, Halo is your killer app for it. Air Force Delta Storm would be cool if you are into air combat style games, air combat and anime specifically. Mad Dash Racing, no good. Fuzion Frenzy sucks. Oddworld Much's Odyssey, you would get tricked by. As a matter of fact, let's just watch the trailer for that right now. Let's see how many bull shots are in
that's nasty.
Okay, no, this trailer seems to be made up of actual gameplay. This game is not very good, unfortunately.
Dude, what's up with that?
After there's that early 2000s attitude for you. Yeah, after Odyssey and Exodus on the PS1, you know, like those are some pretty cool, very difficult, you know, platform puzzlers. Much as Odyssey is just straight up like a collectathon style platformer kind of action game. Feels real bad to control. It ain't great. Fortunately, Oddworld would get redeemed on original Xbox not that too much later with Stranger's Wrath, which is a good game. Maybe not as good as people remember it, but it has like it's a pretty crazy product. On the backlog, unsurprising, like never finished it. And kind of does this thing where I'm pretty sure like by the like the second half of that game like completely like changes like genre. I think there's kind of like a twist that happens in that game about like around like the halfway point where it kind of shifts from like this open world bounty hunter type thing to a more like straightforward action style game, but like the story tone and everything takes on like a whole other like shift from what I recall. Okay, I don't want to. Let's at least look at like the trailer for Transworld Surfing since this was a launch title. I'm not familiar with this at all. Ultimate surf action. That's some good looking water. It's decent looking water. It kind of gets worse the longer I look at it, but it's moments like this where there's part of me that gets like a little sad. Only in that like I just don't have the nostalgia for this generation of games. You know, it's the same with the PS2. You know, like we were a GameCube house. So Xbox and PS2 were things that I just never engaged with, and the stuff that I did engage with was very, very limited. You know, like I've told my story plenty of times of like my experience with Metal Gear Solid 2 and what a marvel like that game was. But then I missed the rest of the PS2's library. It was like that and the fucking Treasure Planet game. Like those are the two games that I played the most of on PS2. Like that was my, you know, teenage experience with that system. Nothing else at all. The Xbox I saw even less of. I think the original Xbox, until we got a 360 and started playing like backwards compatible games, I think the most I ever saw of the Xbox was the fucking like the Hobbit game on original Xbox. Because my cousin was given an Xbox for, it was either his birthday or Christmas. I don't remember which one, but I remember it must have been birthday because he was the only one with presents. And I remember like helping set it up, and then we checked out the Hobbit game, which predates, you know, like the Hobbit movies, of course. So it kind of looks, I remember visually it looking a lot kind of like the Fable games do, where there's kind of like these big kind of like very like round character designs, like everybody's kind of like fat. And I remember it being like boring. Oh, biker Sherlock. What a combination of words. There's a mystery to solve on the bike track. Look at these street illusion dudes. Terrifying. A terrifying idea for a sport. I don't know why anyone does it. Please close your legs. It's very rude. I need pants with biker written across the ass. Thanks, Sobi. I'm so mad that we don't have a way to like look at that. I wonder, did these games have codes on them? Are there hidden things? Secret codes. Reddit has asked. Okay, hang on. Ooh, someone has straight up made a Google sheet for it. All right, let's see what we got here. Disc 1. Okay, disc 1 had like other stuff that we just didn't get to. Maybe I'll find like I'll see if I can find like the US release of that, because apparently there's like there's behind the scenes of Superman on Xbox. Woof. Okay. Nothing hidden on this. It appears that there is nothing hidden on this. It looks like there's nothing hidden on any of. Oh wait, oh I'm too far over. Oh, nope. Okay. Nothing hidden on these discs until it looks like issue 22. So we got a ways to go.
Dude, what's up with that?
Even then, the stuff that the stuff that's hidden or extra doesn't really seem that interesting. So I don't know. I am getting kind of like mild spoilers on what's on some of these other future discs. Let me take a look and see, like, what thing should we even look at? What time is it? 8:30. It looks like, okay, it looks like some of this like special feature stuff gets a little better like as this goes on. But looking at the list, it's kind of like, okay, that'll be cool to see eventually. But I kind of want to jump systems.
Lost for thousands of years.
I kind of want to leap ahead here.
Marooned on its surface.
And see what's going on in the old 360 side of things.
Hunted by an undaunted foe.
Because there's definitely a lot going on those discs.
Are mankind's most advanced warrior.
Let's do it. Thank you, official Xbox magazine. But I think you're going to be more interesting much later. So I'll do a little bit of research and kind of see, like maybe I will pick and choose specific discs to grab for that. But so this made me very excited today, which was I just, you know, downloaded an image of a Xbox 360 demo disc, which is still official Xbox magazine, just to see what would happen. And this shit worked right out of the box. I am stunned that this works as well as it does. Now, I will tell you, I think I mentioned this already, the demos straight up don't work, period, at all. So unfortunately, we're gonna miss out on that. But we will be getting a lot of other like videos and trailers and stuff here, a lot of art galleries. There's all sorts of stuff and I forgot about a thing that the official Xbox magazine did for the 360 games. This, I will say, I do have a lot of fondness and nostalgia for the 360 demo discs, because by this point, I was working in the Walmart 1 Hour Photo as of 2008. No. Yeah, wait. 2006. Because 2009 was when I eventually moved into the gaming industry. Yeah, so 2006, I was working in the Walmart 1 Hour Photo, and at the beginning of every month, I would very excitedly on my lunch break go to the magazine section, which still existed then, and would grab the edition of the official Xbox magazine, which came with a physical demo disc in it. So I would basically spend, the rest of my day when I wasn't helping customers or whatever, reading through the magazine. And then that night I would go home and play through all the demos. So getting, I'll get a little taste of that again, and what that felt like. I always thought that these demo discs were put together really, really well. They have a really clean UI to them, that calls directly back to the Blades, the best UI design for any system ever, before they fucking abandoned it for a way worse final product. Yeah, we're jumping 60 issues ahead now. Or I guess 58 if you're counting from where we left off. Official Xbox magazine game discs. That's you'll find that over on yellow Twitch, or I guess blue Twitch is a thing now, which I wasn't aware of, but good for them. Yes, issue number 60 we are going into, so let's check this out. Hang on. Hang on. It appears I have the wrong setup. Oh, because yeah. Okay. Right. Because I knew it. I knew that when we did, because when I did the Switch 2 stream the other day, it meant that I had to like change some of the OBS stuff, which meant that there was just a layer just sitting on top of the thing that I'm trying to actually capture. All right, that has now been fixed, and here we go. I'm sure some people already recognize that first chord. Also, welcome to the era of 16:9 gaming.
This is the way the world ends.
I may not have a lot of nostalgia for the series myself, but I will say they cut a good trailer. The Halo games have always cut very good trailers. You know, I kind of feel Halo is Microsoft's Blizzard, you know, where it's like, well, I'm never going to play this game, but man, this trailer sure got me hyped for a thing I'm never going to engage with. Yeah, you know, I must have played Halo 3 at some point. I genuinely don't remember anything about them. All right. So as for demos here, we get very little. We get Lost Planet, Perfect Dark Zero, and FIFA 06 World Cup. Now, I do not know what the debriefings are. We'll maybe try hitting one of those and see what happens. But I will say, if I try to launch any of these demos, basically what happens is that the disc crashes. So unfortunately, we won't be getting into any of that. But check it out. We got all kinds of features in here, including something for Fear, one of my favorite shooters of all time. We got the Xbox 360 Spring Showcase, like with Halo 3. We're back to Alan Wake again. Call of Duty 3, Fable 2, Forza Motorsport, Shadowrun, Viva Pinata, a video showcase of Just Prey, of the original Prey, a game that I think is super underrated. We got galleries, we got a review roundup, we got an August Xbox quiz. We're gonna test our Xbox knowledge. And the Point Center. So basically, as you go through these discs, you can see up in the top right there, we have OXM points. They basically like just had like in-universe points that as you did stuff on the disc, you would unlock more points. And I think if you filled the meter all the way out, I think you would like unlock additional content. I don't recall. I think there may have even been like achievements. I think if you got like all 1,000 points, you would get like an actual achievement. That might have been what it was. I don't remember. I genuinely don't remember. I just remember thinking that these were so cool and so exciting, and just really, really fucking good demo discs. So let's try crashing this thing immediately. Let's just see what the Lost Planet debriefing does. Play the Lost Planet demo, then fill out this feedback form and let us know what you think. Oh, okay. Well, we didn't play the demo, but I have played Lost Planet. Actually, it's on the backlog because it is a very long game and you do kind of get tired of it. But I do like it. I like the game a lot. So eventually we will play through it in its entirety, but I do think that Lost Planet is really cool. I think it looked amazing. Lost Planet is a game where there is motion blur on goddamn everything. And I've talked about this before. I dig it. I am into all of like because it's not motion blur on like the camera movement, which I know is what people really get annoyed by, but there's a lot of there's like per object motion blur in that game. So all the enemy and character models and everything like blur when moving at high speeds. And I think it makes the game, I think it actually has a real like striking effect. I always thought that it looked pretty incredible. I think visually the game holds up a lot better than a lot of games from this generation, as a matter of fact. The PC version especially like just looks fucking great. So based on your experience with the demo, are you interested in purchasing Lost Planet for Xbox 360? Yes, I am. In fact, I did. How difficult was the Acrid demo level? I remember it being okay. What about the Snow Pilot or Snow Pirates? Again, I don't think... Overall, how difficult was the bosses? I think the bosses are actually pretty easy in this game. They have big glowing weak spots, which I remember at the time the game was criticized for, but I don't think it's that big of I think it's fine. I think it's totally fine. How satisfying was the grappling hook? The grappling hook actually is terrible. It is used in like in a very specific way, and doesn't feel great. So I'm gonna say, we'll say marginally. How satisfying useful was the vital suit, the mech vehicle in the demo? Now, the mech suits are awesome. What other vehicles would you like to see most added to Lost Planet? A Jeep or Hummer-like vehicle, a flying vehicle, a hovering vehicle, or one that carries multiple players. Well, I mean, we're coming to this way after the fact. I know that there's like a speeder bike equivalent in there. I think being able to fly around those levels would have been pretty cool. How would you rate the variety in type, power, originality, and function of weaponry in Lost Planet? I'll say is sufficient. There's a machine gun and a rocket launcher. That's all you need. There's also a shotgun, which sucks ass. What other types of weapons would you like to see in Lost Planet? More grenades, more personal weaponry, more vital suit weapons. I don't know. I guess more personal weapon. Should there be a melee attack for close range with Wayne? Yes, there absolutely should be. There should be. Thank you for completing this form. You must be signed into Xbox Live to be able to submit this form and earn OXM points. I thought that I was technically signed in on.
From the high desert in the great American
Hang on.
Southwest,
Don't look at this. Don't look at
We're
this.
gonna start the night by opening up the lines, and I can already tell you folks it's going to get very interesting.
Don't look at this. Don't look at this. I thought that there was a way to like tell it to like be online. Maybe not. Damn.
Police get this are reporting mysterious lights all over the air.
All right. We'll live with it, I guess. I'm not going to earn my points. All right. Well, okay. Since it looks like the parade thing is going to be something that we're going to get spoiled on, let's just watch the video for Prey. I think this game is really cool. It has some problems.
High desert in the great American Southwest. I'm Art Bell, and we're
But this game blew my mind the first time I played it.
And I can already tell you folks it's going to get very interesting. I'm getting some reports of strange lights in the sky from the Oklahoma area. Our affiliate in Oklahoma City is telling us that the state police, get this, are reporting mysterious
The opening like 15 minutes of this game are fucking incredible. This whole sequence, the game starts with everyone getting abducted out of this bar. And then
I want those bastards dead.
And then like the sequence of you like
I want vengeance.
Basically breaking free of your restraints, and then like they kind of overwhelm you with a lot of kind of terrifying imagery of what these aliens are doing to the humans that they abduct. It's kind of wild. And then after that, it's kind of whatever. I will say, you know, like I think the game is visually incredible. This game beat Portal to Portals by I think a year or two.
We will add your strength and knowledge to ours. You will become like us.
You don't have control over any of the portals, but
Only to kill you.
But there are some cool things that they do with the portal technology in it. There's one moment that I recall very specifically where there's like a model of a planet in a glass case, and when you go through a portal near that thing, you actually end up on that planet shrunk down. So now that planet is like at scale for you. And then you can see the ship area that you just came from now fucking giant. It's a really cool effect. There's a lot of really great moments in Prey. The gameplay is not what you should come to it for. The gunplay doesn't feel very good. There's not a lot of impact to the weapons. You know, it's a little wonky. It's a little clumsy, but I do think from a visual perspective, it's a really, really cool game. Also remember the story being kind of a bummer. There are a couple of story beats. I mean, a lot of it is you can hear it from this guy's delivery. You know, it's a little kind of like edgelordy a little bit. It's just like I'm just mad at everything and I hate everything. I hate that I have to save the day kind of shit. But I do recall some specific story beats where it's kind of like, oh man, this is fucking grim. It is not a feel-good game. All right. I love that they have titled each of these as like something that doesn't necessarily tell you what kind of game it is from the jump. But let's check out 60 Ways to Kill a Zombie. We have a trailer here for Dead Rising 1, and it is an early trailer for it. I can tell it's early because look at the UI in the upper left here. Like, that is not what that looked like on final release. Also, this footage is extremely dark for some reason. No idea why. Dead Rising's awesome. The original Dead Rising kicks ass. Dead Rising 2 also kicks ass. Dead Rising 2 re-release, what the fuck was it called? Something Investigation or something? Or Off the Record. Dead Rising 2 Off the Record, where they let you play as Frank West again in a slightly like remixed version of the story. Also great. I really love this game. I didn't at the time. At the time, I found this game extremely frustrating, and I didn't understand that basically like hitting a game over after a few hours is kind of intended design, which is really strange because if you play the remaster that they released, what was that, last year, I think, you probably won't run into that issue. They changed some stuff about the progression system where basically you level up like, I think it's like 5 times faster than you do in the original release of the game, which enables you to play through it like first time through if you know what you're doing. You can play through it first time through without actually hitting that game over scenario. That's kind of not an option in the original release of it. You are kind of meant to fail and then start over with like New Game Plus. Clean up! Register 6! That's how early that footage is. They didn't have lip sync. Which is funny because technically the final release of the game doesn't have lip sync either, because the lip syncing in the game is fucking awful. I think it's a case where they probably lip synced like the Japanese version of it, because none of the English lip syncing and voice acting lines up at all. It's a great game though. I wish they would make another one in that style, because Dead Rising 3 and 4 absolutely do not, and they're not very fun. All right, we have a trailer now for Destroy All Humans 2. Again, another game that's not necessarily as fun in execution as its
Greg Borg.
Oh, yes, awesome.
I'm the director of production, and we're going to talk about Destroy All Humans 2, Make War, Not Love. Now that we've moved the game to the 60s, we're kind of playing up the whole like free love aspect of it. We're playing off on the James Bond aspect, or kind of the, you know, the wacky London, you know, kind of things, the Japanese movies. You know, there's a lot of great material that we're able to grab from the 60s.
Wacky London and Japanese movies.
Kind of the basis
Things I think about
of
with the
what
60s.
is that kind of 60s nostalgia. We've also tried to add a lot of new cool
I love these
weapons to
white
your
transitions.
arsenal. So we have things like the meteor strike, which is your ability to actually call a meteor from outer space to come down and strike your opponent. We have thing called the dislocator weapon, and we do a lot of really fun things with physics in the game. And what this does is it attaches onto a person or a car or a vehicle, and basically messes with their physics and slams them into walls or into buildings or into other people, etc. So those are just a couple of the new weapons we're including. I think we have 5 or 6 new weapons in this game that are just on, you know, for you as crypto, and then there's
We're in
more
the
weapons
era
that
of
we're playing
ragdoll
in
physics, and I am
US.
so excited about it.
Too. We wanted to go international with it. So you do start in.
I love
kind of
ragdoll
San
physics. I think
Francisco,
they are
what we call Bay City.
hilarious.
It's kind of a San Francisco city, which is great during the 60s. But then we start to go outside and we travel around the world. So we go to, you know, a city called Albion, which is based off of London. Another city called Tunguska, which is based off of kind of an outback Siberian location. We have a Japanese island, Takoshimi Island, which is very much like Japan. And so you travel around these different locations, and each one plays off their own kind of stereotypes of the 60s. So, you know, with Japan, you'll certainly play up the ideas of, you know, of the Japanese kind of monster movies. And in London, we'll, you know, kind of give you that Austin Powers kind of flavor of running around, you know, London during the 60s. So one of the things we really wanted to focus after
When you go to
Destroy
London, we'll
Humans
play up a lot of
1
stuff like
Destroy All
mushy
Humans
peas
2
and
was
sad
the
sausages.
open world. And what that means is you're inside of a living, breathing world where things are responding to and reacting to you. Where you can decide when you want to take a mission on, which mission it will be. So there's multiple mission paths to go down. There's side missions you can go down. Like, for example, there's a series of side missions which are all focused on just ruining people's lives. You know, so if you find a person want to ruin their life, you find out what's up with them. Oh, this guy's a Jack Dodger. Okay,
Wait, you get to play as a kick streamer?
Follow me. I'm gonna take him back to the draft board, and he's gonna, you know, I'm gonna ruin his life basically by turning him in. You know, so there's these kind of ideas of these side missions and this complete open world where you can go through and just, you know, mess with humans. You know, staying to the idea of destroying all humans. And something that we want to go even further is something we're calling probing the world. The probe the world concept, which is basically, we don't want to tell you what to do. We want you to be able to discover kind of the ideas. You know, what are the kind of missions you need to go? Where are you going to find this? Where are you going to?
We want you to
And
shove
the way you do that, we
things
have a nice
up other
mechanic for
things'
doing that,
butts
is
at your
ability
own
to read
pace.
people's minds. So if you know your objective is to, you know, find this guy, we're not going to blip him on the mini map and say, here he is. You just run there. You have to run around and find the right people. You scan their brains, and they'll give you hints and clues as to where you might find this person. So the idea of going out and actually actively probing the world will kind of lead you to the next thing. So it's not just about action, although we take action very, very seriously in Destroy All Humans, but we want to kind of add another layer on top of it, and that's the probe the world. Look, there are millions and millions of Xboxes out there. There's millions and millions of PS2s out there. And, you know, this is the kind of game that we think goes right to the, you know, the kind of gamer that's out there with those systems. It's very
Bold of
mass
them
market.
to
It has a
leave
broad
in the part
appeal.
where he says
The comedy is
PS2s
there, the action is there.
on this
I think
Xbox
it's gonna be
disc.
a great Christmas title when everybody's thinking about, you know, the best, you know, pixel graphics and the best shadows and the best. We're focused on just core gameplay. We want to deliver an experience that we think is just going to be great for the millions and millions of people out there that own these systems and haven't moved on to the next generation yet. So hey, thanks for checking out Destroy All Humans 2.
Rock and roll, hearts are in the right
Make War,
place.
Not Love.
Unfortunately,
Check
the
it out in
games
stores
aren't
coming out
great.
this fall in 2006. Hope you'll all go out there and get it and help crypto save or destroy, I guess, the world yet again.
I'm gonna have to kill you.
The Destroy All Humans games have the same problem that a lot of open world games do. Destroy All Humans is a lot like Mercenaries, or I'll even say GTA, where most of the fun is found in the running around, blowing stuff up, playing in the sandbox side of things. It then becomes decidedly less fun the moment you engage with like the story or like the designed missions and stuff like that. Then it becomes like very like limited. You know, there are like fucking like stealth missions in the Destroy All Humans games, which just are never fun. I like the Destroy All Humans games, again, like from a wide angle, you know. Like they are fun playgrounds to run around in and just blow shit up in. But the game's sense of humor, it's so weird that like Crypto is like this walking Jack Nicholson impression. Like I remember at the time, like reviewers just kind of like not really sure what they're going for with this. like its tone is just kind of like the humor like falls flat. I think in most cases, it's just kind of one of those things where just like, yeah, I don't know. It's the humor of Destroy All Humans, I think, is the same way that like Gen Zers look at millennial humor today. We're just kind of like, all right, okay, yeah, sure, I guess you guys think that stuff's funny. Like that is very much kind of like how a lot of Destroy All Humans jokes tend to work. But flying around in the saucer and like blowing up entire buildings and watching skyscrapers collapse, like that was always fun. That was always cool. Zapping that death ray around things always like was very satisfying. And because they did a remaster of, I think it was just the first game. I don't know, was the second game also included in that? I don't remember. But the remaster that they did is probably the best way to play it now because it runs really well. All right, show me a trailer for Fear. I fucking love this game so much. God, it's so good.
Hi, my name is Rob Loftus. I'm the senior producer for Vivendi Universal, and I'm here to talk to you guys about Fear. What Fear is it stands for First Encounter Assault Recon, and what Fear the game is all about is about sequences of thrilling combat, like close quarters combat. Think of the action from a movie like The Matrix, and think of, have a paranormal storyline of a movie like The Ring. So very psychological and very much in your face in action. So what separates Fear from other first-person shooters is it's the high-powered action, but it's weaving in that paranormal storyline. It's about creating a real creepy sense of atmosphere within the game. So it's a lot of times when you're playing the game, what's scarier to you is what you don't see rather than what you do see. And it's about creating that tension and then mixing that with a real high-impact close quarters battle.
Also, we have the best shotgun in video game history.
What they are is they're a first responder unit to paranormal threats to national security. And what they've done in this game is they're coming in to investigate and track down a person by the name of Paxton Fettel. And who he is, he represents the next generation of battlefield commander. He's has this psychic link to his troops, and he's escaped from his...
Listen to all the fucking room tone. Can we get quiet on the set, please?
The Fear team's job.
Can you arrange your spoons later?
Track him down and find him. And the story of Fear is the player's quest to track him down. There's definitely an influence of Asian horror. It's really about creating that psychological feel, that psychological horror rather than in-your-face horror. Because the problem with the in-your-face stuff is the player really gets desensitized to that, and they don't really it loses its effect as you go along. So you crave that the psychological feel of something like think of a movie like The Ring, where you have that little girl and you have this kind of it's like what she went through, the imagery that they conjured with that video. And kind of like just the sound and what you don't see that's around the corner.
Why are we moving so much shit in the background?
Thank you very much for taking the time to check out Fear, and look for the playable demo coming your way on the OXM disc.
Yeah, this first game kicks so much ass. Unfortunately, the first Fear is kind of the only good one. 2 is okay. 3 is actively bad. But it's just, man, just nothing. It feels so good. Like the combat in Fear is so fucking good. I remember it reviewed okay at the time. Like, one of the things, the level design got a lot of flack because you're kind of running around office buildings for the entire game, and there are a lot of instances of you think you're going the right way, but then it just kind of like loops back around to where you just came from, and there are some frustrating things there. It never really bothered me, because what it got praised for was not only just like how good the combat felt, but also like the enemy AI is some of the best from the time. And honestly, I think some of the enemy AI is actually still really incredible today. It is very reactive to what you do. Like they really spent their time programming the enemies in that game to like respond directly to whatever you do, whether that is taking cover, whether that is using certain types of weapons, whether that is having a flashlight. Like, the enemies are able to spot your flashlight beam, and they will go on alert and start taking cover and searching for you as a result of that. It's really cool. And it's also one of those things where they give you a bullet time button, you know, like it's funny that they said like inspired by things like The Ring and Japanese horror. One, they lift their horror moments wholesale from The Ring and The Grudge, straight up. But then they also rip all of their action like from the Matrix movies, you know, like every time you fire a gun in that game, it creates like so much noise from like all like dust and paper and debris, like, you know, like by the time, like after the end of every firefight in that game, wherever you just were, you can do like a before and after comparison, and there will be bullet decals all over the place, and like crumbled pillars, and concrete has been like torn up from the ground and the walls. It's really, really fucking cool. Also, sometimes when you shoot guys point blank with a shotgun, they just turn into a cloud of blood. It's awesome. Fear, original Fear, fucking awesome. Anyway, here's Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, another game that was awesome. Top 10 things to do in Oblivion. Okay, we're getting comedy here. This is this is absolutely the best way to market this game. Holy shit. Geniuses at the official Xbox magazine.
I knew I could count on you.
slamming the A button. There you go. Show off the physics engine. Absolutely. Listen to these fucking, I recognize these GarageBand strings. I love this. 90% of this trailer is just like, look at how dumb the physics are in this game. Look at how goofy the ragdolls are. Skip the part where you're talking about how we have Patrick Stewart in it for all of 8 seconds. I was already sold on Oblivion back in the day through just like regular exposure to it. This would have made me like run out and buy a copy of it immediately if I had seen this trailer specifically. They need to start marketing video games like this again. I mean that genuinely. I don't mean that as a bit. Show how goofy your game can be. Show all the nonsense. Show the part where the game kind of hitches for a second before like switching out your character model for the physics enabled version of it. Like that was the single best trailer we have ever seen on any of these demo discs thus far. That was fucking fantastic. There is no reason we should have moved away from that. Like that. Cause that's what you do in Oblivion. Like that's the stuff you do in that game is you just goof off with the world. You don't care about the quests in that game. Unless you're doing the Dark Brotherhood. Otherwise, who gives a shit? Oh, I gotta take the amulet to Joffrey. Fuck Joffrey. Joffrey's across the map in an area that doesn't have any other quests in it. Push sheep off mountains. Like that is what you should be doing in that game. Steal from random NPCs and see how long you can get away with it. Go complete the Mages Guild quest by just like grinding XP in combat by just shooting fireballs at things all fucking day. Craft a ring of water breathing and tape your joystick forward while you walk away and do anything else so you level up your athletics. Like that is more games need to focus on that. Stop trying to sell us on like stories and fucking meaningful character building. No one gives a shit about that stuff. Not really. At the end of the day, it's how fun is your video game. Speaking of fun video games, here's Alan Wake. Starting with the line, I was a writer. Right out of the gate. I honestly think that this original release looks better than the remaster we played. I really do. And I think it's because like it's more visually impressive. Alan, his model looks better. I mean, they make that game look pretty interesting. Wow, games for Windows. A sudden chill just ran down my back. If you're unaware, Games for Windows was a fucking travesty. Basically, it was. I don't even know if it was intended to be like a type of DRM, but it basically worked like one. Where if you couldn't sign into your Games for Windows Live account, your games would just be fucking unplayable on PC. It was a bad time. It was a bad time. I wasn't even a PC gamer at the time, and I remember like hearing about like how bad it was. Like it never worked correctly. It was an absolute mess of a system that never got maintained, and they eventually just killed it off. Even though there are, and this is unfortunate, there are still games you can buy like on the Steam store that are Games for Windows like enabled. And they just straight up won't work. Just straight up like you cannot play them. Like you have to like hope that there is some sort of like community fix for those things, some kind of like workaround for them. I remember there was an Extra Life years ago where somebody wanted to play like the old Mortal Kombat games, and it was one of these things where we decided this was like a 4 a.m. decision, where there was basically like a lull in what was going on, and I think a guest canceled. I think a guest couldn't make it, which meant that we kind of had to figure out what we were going to do to kill that time. And then somebody who was said, it's just like, what if we played like some of the Mortal Kombat games? Like that would be fun. It was like, okay, cool, let's do that. So we spent the time on stream downloading the Mortal Kombat collection on Steam, because I thought that would be the easiest way to do it. Because this was before I had gone through like the work that I have done now on like all of like my emulation stuff. So we were kind of at the mercy of whatever I had available. So we went through the trouble of downloading that whole thing, which also, again, like at a time when my internet probably was not up to snuff to be able to both download and stream at the same time. Go through that whole process, and come to find out, when we launched it, it immediately brought up a Games for Windows login. And Games for Windows was already dead by the time we were doing this. Like it had already been discontinued. And straight up just could not launch the game. Like could not get past the game's launcher, essentially. And I remember being so fucking mad. I remember being furious because we had basically spent a lot of time not really doing anything on stream. We're already so exhausted. It's the middle of the night. We're in like those early morning hours. And now we've just lost like half an hour to like waiting for this bullshit to download when we're all like falling asleep as it is. So I think what I ended up doing, I think I just like in that moment, just very like quickly just went and like found like the Mortal Kombat ROMs, I think, and actually did set up emulators to use them. I think is what we did as a workaround for that. But yeah, Games for Windows, a huge mistake, and thank God it's dead now. All right, how about a trailer for Call of Duty 3? Look at the beginning of this. More of the same, not even close. We saw the series latest at E3 and it blew us away. How young and naive we were. God, expansion pack. When was the last time anybody ever heard those words together? I remember Call of Duty 2 being pretty cool for the time. I think I fired it up. No, that was the Xbox Live Arcade re-release of Call of Duty 1 that I was trying out. I definitely remember playing through 2. I don't know if I ever played 3. I love how we went from nothing but gameplay footage to now this, which is very much not gameplay footage. Again, we're in this era. We're in this era of complete and total bullshots designed to look like gameplay, but absolutely not gameplay. That sucks. That fucking sucks. Huge bummer. Huge bummer for that. That's crazy seeing Nintendo, and that was a logo for Nintendo Revolution. That is how early this trailer is. Nintendo Revolution, which was the original name of the Wii. I think they changed it from Revolution specifically because Xbox 360 became a thing, and I think they wanted to get away from any of that. And when they called it the Wii, boy, everyone just had even more jokes. Like that thing was so disrespected at the time. They made good on it eventually. Like the Wii ended up being a fucking smash hit thanks to like Wii Sports alone. Like suddenly it's just like, holy shit, have you guys played the Wii? But early days for the Wii were fucking rough. Everything leading up to its release and everything, man, people were not kind to it. That would be fun. That'd be fun to do. We'll have to find like the E3 where like all that stuff was announced and revealed and everything. Cause man, everyone was brutal, fucking brutal. Like you had professional like games journalists and stuff like openly like pointing and laughing at how dumb the Wii looked. So weird, like such a strange time. And again, like at the time seemed like a totally normal response to have to it. Like it was just kind of like, yeah, that looks really fucking bad. That looks so dumb. I can't believe they're doing this. And then it was just kind of like, hey, everyone's mom, dad, and grandma cannot get enough of this shit. And it became a fucking phenomenon.
This is the way the world ends.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the promises to pay off spectrum, here's something from Peter Molyneux. Although I think people do actually do like the Fable games.
Welcome, child. Your story is waiting. The world that was has changed and grown. So will you. Choose your fortune.
Another demo disc, another night of me riding the volume slider all fucking stream because it's just all over the place.
Every choice leads to a different destiny. Choose yours.
I remember the Fable games always talking a really big game, and by that I mean Peter Molyneux, of course, talking a really big game about like how much control you had over the story and everything. And I don't know if they ever actually made good on that. I've never played them. I think I played like a little bit of Fable 3 very, very briefly back in the day. But considering that this is the same era as like BioShock and stuff like that, like it has to be that there was basically like either like pure good or pure evil ending and then like no gray area in between. Like that is how all morality systems worked back in the day, and honestly like still do. All right, let's look at the car game. We got Forza Motorsport 2 here. Oh, thank God, and something that's going to mute the VOD. Let's go. Not gameplay footage. I think all of these videos are going to be just like pre-rendered trailers. I'll be shocked if any of these show actual gameplay footage. What if we deleted the car and then redrew it and it looked exactly the same? I love shit like this. These like crazy technical breakdowns of what makes a car go. As if any of that fucking matters in the final product of the video game itself. It's so weird. I guess there's only so many things you can show about a car. Yeah, show me a brake pad exploding. I know what that's like. I've lived that experience. Viewers at home, if you drive and you hear squeaking coming from your brakes, go fucking get your brake pads taken care of. Go do that and do it like as soon as you start hearing the squeaks, because you don't want to be like me, who did not respond to the squeaks. And then when the squeaks stopped, so did my ability to slow down my car. And it is the most scared I have ever been driving home from work. It was absolutely terrifying to press the brake all the way down, truly all the way down to the floor, and your car is still not slowing down. Fucking terrifying. Basically what I'm saying is that I had worn the brake pads all the way down and then had to get the rotors themselves replaced because I had basically like dug grooves into the rotors because the brake pads had completely dissolved. I was not great about car maintenance. I'm a lot more, I'm not going to say like proactive, but I am a lot more now where something is going wrong with the car. I don't ignore it. I just take it to a shop like immediately. Because too many times I got burned. I got burned by just thinking that you could just like, I don't know, maybe it'll fix itself eventually. No. It turns out that they put warning systems on cars for very specific reasons. And it's so you don't fucking die. Here's a trailer for Shadowrun. Again, another fake trailer. I don't think this game reviewed very well. Especially because I'm pretty sure Shadowrun existed as a thing before this came out. And they basically turned it into like a multiplayer shooter. When that is not what Shadowrun was originally. I think I'm getting that right. Yeah, Shadowrun is a TTRPG. It's a fucking it's a role-playing game. And the original Shadowrun games, I think, were like, yeah, they're like tactical, like point and click RPGs. So when they released this, it was like, it's a squad-based first-person shooter. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? We're still doing that. You guys remember the latest Game Awards where the big final reveal was a fucking hero shooter that I've already forgotten the name of? Windows Vista, a name I haven't heard in many a year. All right. The last thing in the spring showcase. Video for Viva Pinata.
Viva Pinata, official video game spokesperson.
An actual good game. Oh, I think I remember this.
Read from the script, please.
Well, sure, I do a lot of voiceover work. But I don't seem to have my reading glasses. Well, typically I like to get these things the night before, but I'll just give this a cold
Is that a
read.
young Troy Baker I'm hearing?
Get set for Viva Pinata! An ever-changing world full of endless possibilities, because this is a world where you get to call the shots. The pinata creatures and plant life that inhabit this land are all determined by you. Our story begins at a small garden that in its heyday...
This is a very cool game on the backlog.
That sounds delicious.
Recently requested
Though now
by a community
fun
member.
fact, with a little care and consideration, you can restore this spot back to its heyday. With some friendly locals and basic tools to help you along, your garden tending begins.
Given that we're coming up on the, what is it, 25th anniversary of like this game, I think in November or so.
Then, depending on how you design your
Maybe we'll start a play. We'll start our own farm around that time of year, maybe.
If they like what they see, these pinatas may even move in. And once
Although
they
we will
do,
be celebrating the original Xbox around that time, so I don't know.
design tag for them to wear, letting everyone know where they got their start. This tag will stay with the pinata wherever it may go. But your pinata parenting doesn't stop there. You'll also be able to name your new friend.
Ed209 for the username.
Why, you can even deck out your colorful critters with all kinds of costumes and accessories.
What's going to go great with our game about growing and harvesting pinata creatures? How about a RoboCop reference?
You'll have to give them a place to stay. And each of the over 60 species of pinata included in the game has their own personal housing preferences. Not only do these houses provide for a safe haven, they also provide for a private haven, where two friendly pinatas can, see for yourself. Romancing pinatas will dance the night away, and they're not shy about showing off their moves. Now, as your pinata
That's
collection
right.
grows,
You make the pinatas fuck.
and which to trade. You can even go off and visit a friend's garden. To help you enjoy these more social aspects of the game,
This is a rare game, and we're a British company, so we're going to be all cheeky about it. But that's what's really happening.
mundane tasks of your daily routine. Still, life on Pinata Island is never all daisies and apple trees. When illness or danger threatens, you'll need to be the one who comes to the rescue. So if troublemaking ruffians or sour pinatas pay your garden a visit, it's up to you to decide how to deal with them.
To run up and whack him with the shovel. There we go. Yep.
Or come up with a more creative way to rein in the rowdy rascals. And even when the coast is clear of sinister sours and other perils, you'll have your work cut out for you. After all, each Pinata resident has their own little quirks, and sometimes they won't get along so well with each other. Tempers will flare up every so often, and although it's a Pinata's destiny to spill its candy, best that it doesn't happen in a scrap with a next-door neighbor.
I'm glad that the last game in the showcase is like actual like gameplay footage.
This is your world to explore and ultimately transform into whatever you want.
And it's like a kind of like lengthy breakdown of like what the game has to offer.
Of course, there's no shortage of goals to achieve, contests to win, and social engagements to make on Pinata.
Which I think is important because when you look at footage of this game like without commentary, you're probably like, what the fuck is this?
The world of Viva Pinata is a living, breathing place full of opportunities and unforgettable characters. So come for a visit. It's great. I mean, I live here. What more reason do you need?
Yeah, Viva Pinata is a cool video game. At least I remember it being a cool video game. And very like visually striking. Like very just kind of like it like for the time, like some of the rendering that they were doing on the pinatas themselves with the kind of like papery scales look and everything. Just really, really neat. And there is like a shit ton of stuff to do in that game. So I look forward to revisiting that probably sometime this year. All right, we got some galleries to look at. How about a gallery for Saints Row? Saints Row 1. This is going to look rough. Oh boy. Man. I mentioned before, I think it would be interesting to go back to this game. Because 2, 3, and 4, like completely different minds of their own, really leaned in, especially 3, just like really leaned into like the over-the-top comedy aspects of it. Like Saints Row 2 kind of like started that trend. 3 is kind of where they made good on like fully executing on that idea. And then 4, a lot of people don't really enjoy. I fucking love 4. I think 4 is an absolute blast, like just pure power fantasy superhero trip. I think it's amazing. But 3 tends to be the peak of the series for a lot of people, and for good reason. There's a lot of really awesome moments in that game. The fact that it's funny because a lot of people look at there's a moment kind of early on in the game where you jump out of a helicopter down onto a party that's going on to take over like this tower that you're going to make as the base operations for the Saints. And that game famously made use of Kanye West's Power for that moment. And it really fucking works. Like it is really like a goddamn kind of moment for that game. However, for me, what worked a lot better was the ending of the game where you are racing to go save. You basically pick your ending. You can only save one of 2 people. And it plays Bonnie Tyler's I Need a Hero, or Holding Out for a Hero, which I thought was a way better song and a way better use of licensed music in that game. But there's a lot of really great moments in 3. Saints Row 1, on the other hand, a very straightforward, self-serious GTA clone. And I think it would be kind of fascinating to go back and check it out, just to see what it was like in comparison to what that series became. Because it really did become something totally different. All right, let's see how original Mass Effect looks. Man, some of these screens. That's a great looking screenshot right there. That looks awesome. That also looks pretty good. Fucking good looking game. I don't know why they started with this screenshot, because that looks terrible. all the aliasing, like you can just see like all of these hard pixels around everything. But the stuff where they're doing like the mood lighting and everything, yeah, fucking good looking game. I remember playing Mass Effect 1 and being very confused at all times. Pretty much for the entirety of the game. I'm pretty sure I finished it. I definitely finished 2. I definitely played all the way through 2, because 2 made a lot of things a lot more straightforward, and obviously like 2 is considered like the best of the series. Whereas 1 is such a non-traditional kind of game. Like I was not prepared for the kind of game that Mass Effect 1 is. And it's very strange. It is very strange from a gameplay perspective when you think it's just going to be like a third-person shooter, and it's really not. But goddamn, does it look good. And $1 for Splinter Cell here. I remember this game. I remember the Splinter Cell games all looking kind of incredible. I think there's 1 Splinter Cell on the backlog, maybe 2. I always thought these games looked great. I don't think anyone ever thought they necessarily played super great. But even like these screenshots, like it's a good looking game. They were also really impressive, like visually impressive on the original Xbox. Like they were doing a lot of stuff with lighting that a lot of games weren't doing at the time. And it's pretty cool. But they're also stealth games where they are stealth games by like the purest form of a stealth game, where you're basically, if you don't play the game stealthily, you kind of can't win. So I think they end up being more frustrating for a lot of players than most people care for. Still though, visually fucking cool. All right, let's take the August Xbox quiz. Let's see. Let's see how much I know about it. All right, which Xbox game features a lead character named Garrett? Men of Valor, Deus Ex, Ultimate Invisible War, Thief, Deadly Shadows, or Star Wars Republic Commando? I do believe that is Thief. Which official Xbox magazine game disc featured 2 ninja games? Oh, well, I don't know I don't know. I'm not going to know trivia about the other game. 40. In which Xbox 360 game will you use a power called Biotics? Mass Effect, 99 Nights, Enchanted Arms, or Time Shift? That is Mass Effect. Willem Dafoe voices a villain named Nikolai Diavolo in what game? Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, 007, Everything or Nothing, or Terminator 3? I mean, the name Nikolai Diavolo only sounds like a James Bond name. In Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, these giant creatures help you fast travel. I genuinely don't know the answer to this. Raptors, Banshees, Dragoons, or Silt Striders? I never played Morrowind. I have no idea. I thought the way that you fast traveled in Morrowind was you made your jump skill super fucking crazy and then like clipped halfway into a rock and then launched yourself across the game map. Is that not the intended fast travel route of Morrowind? I don't know. Silt Striders. I don't fucking know. What game series is Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey creator Hironobu Sakugachi famous for? Dragon Quest, Castlevania, Resident Evil, or Final Fantasy? I think Dragon Quest, right? It's not RE, it's not Castlevania. I think he was a Dragon Quest dude. It makes sense. All these other things are also JRPGs. Who was the first official mascot of official Xbox magazine? I don't think we ever fucking saw one. Rumor Mole, Scout the Puppy, Master Chief, or Dancing Moira? Rumor Mole sounds like a thing. I don't know why that sounds vaguely familiar. Let's go Rumor Mole. I don't know. What is the name for the signature green color of the original Xbox? Pantone 376, Neo Green, Matrix Green, or Jewel Green? I am going to guess that Neo and Matrix, they would not have ever called it the name of something that could be tied to someone else's IP. Pantone, I think, doesn't make any sense. I think we saw like the word jewel like in the description of another of like that first demo disc. What was official Xbox Magazine's 2006 Xbox 360 Game of the Year? Project Gotham Racing 3, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, Peter Jackson's King Kong. This question makes no sense. I think because this disc didn't exist until 2006, right? Is that what they're getting at? Do you think they would have named Peter Jackson's King Kong the official game of the movie was enough to be Game of the Year? It wouldn't have been Splinter Cell. Project Gotham Racing 3, I mean, it could have been a racing game. You know what? Just for our boy, because I believe in him, we're going to say King Kong. Is Peter Moore's Halo tattoo real? Halo 2 tattoo real? I think yes. I think I remember that being a thing. All right, we don't get to find out whether I was right on any of those. So I'm going to assume that I got a perfect score. I'm great at this. Oh yeah, they also have this review roundup thing. I looked at this earlier today. It's literally scans of the fucking magazine. Well, I guess technically not scans of the magazine, but it's just like, all right, here's some raw fucking data for you. Anything in red is something that scored like higher than a 9.0. So Need for Speed Most Wanted, 9.0, where it belongs. Ninja Gaiden Black, 9.0, where it belongs. Odd Rules, Munch's Odyssey, 9.0, incorrect. Should not be there. Yeah, this is extremely uninteresting. This is the worst way to show this information, I think. We're at level 1 of points. Unfortunately, we can't earn the rest of them. But we're going to close out on the about this disc. I did peek at this earlier today. And the reason that it's good that we look at this is because it is full of like home video fucking footage of these real life people. Gary loves his copy of official Xbox magazine focusing specifically on Dead or Alive Extreme. There's Lost Planet. Lost Planet's a good looking video game, man. Really fucking good looking video game. and then all your fine print. Well, there you go. There is from as best as I can tell, the first demo disc that was released for the Xbox 360. Hell of a showing. Honestly, like this is a solid fucking disc. There's a lot of good stuff on here. As far as demos go, I mean, Lost Planet, at least for me personally, Lost Planet is the only one that's on here that I find even remotely interesting. Perfect Dark Zero was not a very good game, and I don't give a shit about FIFA. But if we'll try to launch Lost Planet. Oh, I did earn the points. Hang on. Hang on. Whoops. Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't save any of the points because we're not logged in. So it doesn't have like a server to ping about it. That's too bad. We tried. But yeah. There are a lot of these fucking discs, and we are going to definitely look at a lot of them as the weeks and months go by. Very good stuff. Very, very good stuff. I will, like I said, I'll take a look at that spreadsheet that I had open earlier to see if there are cooler things to see on the original Xbox disc, because there must be. There has to be. I'm sure there are. They just had maybe just a couple. Those first few issues maybe just weren't very interesting. But there's plenty more to explore there. We also have like all of the PlayStation Underground stuff to explore on the PS2, which is now official PlayStation Magazine. It's no longer called PlayStation Underground, but there's tons of those discs. I just grabbed another like 4 or 5 of them today, as a matter of fact. So lots of demo discs to explore as time moves forward. But we're going to call it there tonight. Having successfully looked at this, and I think my internet might be slowing down. It looks like stream is having a hard time keeping up. So great time to get out of here. I don't know what happened. Internet's acting funky. There it goes. All right, perfect. Well, it's written in the stars then that we are not meant to continue this stream. So we're gonna call it there. Like I said, I go back to work tomorrow. Sadly, I go back to work tomorrow. And I'm not sure what the rest of the week is going to look like as a result of that. There are very tentative plans that Valeno and I might be doing something this week. But we have not we talked a little bit last night, and then that was kind of the end of it. And that was a very late night conversation, so it's possible that he doesn't remember we even had it. But we have the next game that we're gonna do for our Retro Navigator stuff. I won't spoil it here, but we have picked the game. It's just a matter of making it happen. And it is a game that we are going to attempt to play together, which we have not tried before. So there's a lot of like technical stuff to like work through and figure out. And I don't know if we're going to get the opportunity to do it before the day that we said that we were going to try streaming it. So we'll see what happens. If that doesn't happen, I will try to be back on sometime during this week. We'll be back on a regular schedule. So it'll be starting around 7 p.m. Pacific time on weeknights. And then either Saturday or Sunday streams, probably wouldn't start this late usually on a weekend. I'm kind of doing this on purpose so that I'm using a lot of energy now so that I can kind of like have dinner after this and kind of like fall asleep. So I'm trying to like force my sleep schedule back into place so I can go to sleep at like a decent hour tonight. We'll see what happens. I am fully expecting to just be dragging ass tomorrow all day. But yeah, because I also have plans Friday night as well. So might be a little thin stream-wise this week. But I will certainly try to be back. For sure, I will try to be back this weekend, this upcoming weekend. And we'll probably kick off the next backlog game when that happens, which is good. It'll give me time to like give proper thought to what we're going to do. I'm still thinking it's going to be an RPG. I think we're going to fire off an RPG, but I think we might stick to like a 16-bit type thing. Might pull something from the Super Nintendo. Been a lot of suggestions for Super Nintendo RPGs as of late. So it'd be cool to jump into one of those. Now it's just a question of if we go JRPG or action RPG, and we'll see. But yeah, as always, keep an eye on the Discord and whatnot for that ongoing conversation and when things are going to be happening. And that is going to do it for me. I am going to send you all to a thing I forgot was starting today. Damn it. Well, apparently I can't do that. I was going to try to send you guys over to AGDQ, which has just started. It started earlier today. I fully forgot that it was happening. I always forget that it happens like right at the beginning of the year. And then it was just like saw it earlier today. The channel was live, which they're usually, Games and Quick channel is live all the time. But it's just like, oh shit, it's actually fucking like AGDQ now. So gonna have to start tuning into that whenever I get the chance. Well then let's see here. You know what we haven't done in a while? We have not rated a rando in the retro tag. So let's see who's up tonight playing what. I am seeing Killer Instinct. I'm seeing Earthbound. Seeing some Castlevania. Rise of the Triad. Wow. I see some FMV looking nonsense over here. Oh, it's not FMV. They're just showing like old like MTV music videos. Great. Let's go right into whatever the hell this is. Saichur, I think is how you pronounce this name. Let's go see what this is all about. There's a video of Prince dancing around and singing something right now. So go enjoy some old school music. I have no idea who the streamer is. I'm sure that they are chill if they are playing old music videos. So go enjoy them. And yeah, Have a wonderful rest of the night. Have a wonderful week. May the first week of 2026 treat you all kindly. And yeah, between now and then, enjoy whatever game and time you get available. And I will catch you guys all on the next one. Adios.